I'm back, and this time I rebalanced into these things. I messed around with the Pulsar tape a lot more. This isn't really a comparison with the ATR, and I got a lot of comments, and I understand why. Pro Audio. First things first, my comparisons weren't meant to be like an apples to apples, because I know that these tape emulations are based off of completely different tape machines. So if I had both the tape machines here, I would want to see what those both sounded like. You know what I'm saying? Same thing here. I just was trying to see what I get out of these things. Those first tests, basically I downloaded the stuff, I pulled up a session, I slapped them across, I just used some of their presets that were already there, and I wanted to hear what it sounded like. That's it. So in doing so, I came out with my whole ass out. At least I had a wheelbarrow holding it up, but I went back and I wanted to see why I was getting such a crazy dip in the mid-range. And turns out that one of the presets that I used, which was on the guitar bus and the drum bus, had the high shelf turned up one way. I think the low end was turned down a little bit the other way. The bias might have been higher too, and that resulted in hearing a sheen, and therefore you weren't hearing the lower mid-range area as much. It wasn't prominent anymore because the high end was just that much more clear. So again, I said before, I liked it. I didn't have an issue, but there was a lot of people, I don't like the mid-range missing, and I get that too. That's my bad. I just want to put that out there, that those tests weren't scientific in any way, shape, or form. I just got excited, put the stuff on, and just went. You know what I mean? Kind of like first day reactions. It's my bad, son. But this time, I decided to rebalance the elements, and it's a very simple arrangement. I didn't even bother like comparing it to the ATR. I'm gonna show you what I did. I think it sounds really cool. I used the 15 IPS because I wanted to hopefully have more low end, and that's why I did that. I took the high end down a little bit pre-tape because it's a superior drum kit, so the cymbals were getting a little bit too for me. So I took it down and it helped it a little bit. And let's see, just a little bit of wow and flutter on that. And like I said, it's the widener is on, but it's this first widener, so nothing crazy. Not even sure how much it's doing anything for this track. I'm gonna, mess around with it some more. Then on the guitars, I used 456 tape with 15 IPS again, and I left the EQ alone, and I just biased this low John by 1.1 and a little bit of modulation or wow and flutter. And then here is their bass deep preset, and I just think I just left it where it's at, and then just adjusted my fader to where the bass sounded good in the mix. And then the final bus, the 2 bus, nothing's being done on the EQ or the bias. No wow and flutter, like 0.25 driving in, and then pulled it back because the accumulation of all those other things, the master bus was getting a little bit loud, and for that I used the 900 and the 30, and that's it. And I think it sounds really freaking good. Just like the first time that I did a video on this, just the liveliness of everything, the clarity of everything, while it still has mojo there. The bottom end is ridiculous, the way the bass is retained, and it's doing it without things sounding hyped and too distorted. You know what I'm saying? The harmonic content is just right. It's just lively, man. It's not like overly compressing anything. It's probably the most analog sounding plugin that I've used, because they all get close to it, but they always are flat sounding to me. And this is like, you know, and again, I am not affiliated with this company whatsoever. And I haven't even tried any of their other plugins. I just tried this because I like tape plugins. I mean, I already have my channel strips and compressors that I use and a console and hardware and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm always looking for stuff to make it better in the box. Let's listen to that one more time. And then just for shits and giggles, I'm going to put the UADs back on. And you're going to hear a major fucking difference. It's like there's some psycho acoustic stuff going on. Out of all of them, I only have the second click of, or the first click of the widener on the drums, and I don't feel like it's that aggressive. Let's listen to the drums and I'll take it on and off. So A is what I've been using, and B is going to be without the widener at all on there. So it's super subtle on this particular source, but that's that. All right, so let's just for shits and giggles take this off and put the ATRs on and see what that sounds like. So if you noticed, I was driving the input of the guitar bus a lot, and it was taking off a lot of the edge of the guitar, which I liked. But now, after listening to the other thing, I'm like, maybe I'm missing a little bit of that edge. So I'm gonna pull this back. buy this fucking plugin. I really like how it's taking off the sizzle of the guitar, but still letting it be like a 3D type of popping out of your speakers. Because especially a lot of time with lead guitars, or actually just guitar overdrive, you know, distorted guitars, you can get that 3K, 4K build up digital in your, you know, that pokes your eyes and all that stuff. I like how it's doing something that rolls some of that edge off without losing the aggression of the guitar, and it makes the lead pop out more, and I don't know, it's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. So I'm going to go like that now. Let's do this. I want to go to this. Bro, I feel like that guy in Back to the Future when he calls Chuck Berry up, yo, that new sound you was looking for. This thing is really, really cool. I really like driving it, and it taking off some of the harshness of different instruments without losing articulation or definition. Wow. So I'm glad I keep revisiting this, and I'm glad people keep commenting, even though sometimes, you know, I can be like, oh, I did something wrong. It's all good. It's all good. But, man, if you are into this kind of content, subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell. I do a lot of guitar stuff, a lot of guitar pedals, some camera stuff here and there, photography stuff here and there. I do hardware stuff here, console stuff, all sorts of stuff. Again, not sponsored. I have no affiliation. I didn't even buy this. This is my demo version, and I'm going to buy it. Can I show you if it's a demo version? Let me see. License status. See? Hey, don't steal that.